Hello, Army of Light, Earth Division, the boots on the ground. It's Shawna L. Francis, and today is March 21st, 2023. So much to talk about today, guys. Thanks for being here. You guys are amazing. Again, you're the reason why I make these videos. It's for all of you guys, the Army of Light, Earth Division. So we are pivoting again, and it's a big pivot. So I sat down as normal here today to connect to Queen Elizabeth, kind of late morning, and Melchizedek came in right away. I think I'm going to go ahead and just get right into the channeling. I think that's really the best way to do this. Yeah, it's a lot to go through, so I will, summarize where I can, and we'll go from there. Okay, Melchizedek today. Remember, we just had the beginning of springtime yesterday. Shawna, they said, the battle for humanity's consciousness is in full swing. Today, dear one, we ask you to pivot once again. Allow us to introduce you to the next phase of your journey and your mission. We remind all of you that the light is winning, has already won. We are in a counteroffense posture right now, with layers of battles being waged in multiple dimensions and multiple fronts. Shawna, it is a delight, they said, to see how all the planning and carefully coordinated actions are paying off in this critical moment. So if you remember yesterday, team, literally it was like 2:30, and the summer, the spring solstice, the spring equinox was at 2:24 p.m. Right around then, I got basically cut off from Queen Elizabeth and had to stop the channeling. And it didn't feel like it was really interference like before. It just felt like they needed to do other things. And so I'd waited around for 90 minutes, and we could not get restarted. Okay. And Racer had said, go ahead and make the video. We're dealing with something right now. We'll tell you more tomorrow. Oh boy. Okay. They said, the dark has launched a campaign on this side of the veil that would rival what you have seen in your movies. They are not holding back. We are handling the onslaught with grace and strength. We have been ready for this for a very long time. No stone left unturned, Shawna, they said. Many timelines, many projections and forecasts of this moment have been analyzed for the best possible outcome for all involved. This extensive planning is paying off and will continue to light the way forward. Many moving pieces, many roles. This is a team effort. I said, team, can you please provide some more specifics here? How are they battling? What do you mean by this? This is what we'd imagined in our movies, what we've seen in our movies. What does this mean for us here on Earth, at least in the near term? Thank you. It means, they said, that the wishes of humanity, of Gaia, are coming true. This is an all-out war, Shawna, with all the tactics you'd imagine in a war being harnessed, unleashed. The battle is waged on many fronts, they said, a battle of consciousness, of energy frequency, of control, of principle. It is both physical as you understand it and mental. For humanity on Earth today, we ask that you release the need to know all the different ways you are being supported right now, and replace it with a gentle knowing that all is well, all is perfect, and all is being divinely orchestrated to support your evolution. I said, thank you, Melchizedek. So thankful for this. Shawna, they said, we intend to take you further into this journey with us. We intend to take you deeper into the world in which we dwell. This will require even more release within you, especially a release of the need for control and a release of worrying about where all this is heading and the very specific actions you'll take, what you'll be doing as part of this pivot. This is a new phase we've entered. Your role will be changing now. You are ready. It is time. Okay. And then they said, relax with us a moment, Shawna, as we interact with you on a different level. So at that point, I put the laptop down. All of that I was just typing in real time as it was coming through. And quite honestly, team, this is only literally the second time I'm reading through this, so bear with me, and I'm tired. It's been a long day. This is a lot. So I put the laptop down. And I just, today I've just been pondering my journey, our journey together. And remember, team, this YouTube channel exists for you. These videos exist for you. This is what we're doing. We're coming together as a team. I'm coming on 5 years here since my awakening this summer in July. And it all started with a psychic reading that I had. And this person introduced me to my spirit guide, and we started a dialogue. I learned about my mission. This was 2018. I learned about my mission. I learned that reptilians were real. I learned about the ascension. I had no idea about any of this stuff. I never paid any attention to these things. 2019 came around. I quit my job. I left the corporate world altogether. I had a really great job. I was working as a vendor for Nike at that moment. I was doing Google marketing for Nike when I quit my job. And I moved to Mexico for 6 months at the urging of Archangel Metatron and my guides that were coming through at the time. I'd also published a really tiny channeled book that you can get on Amazon today, or let me know and I'll send it to you for free. I've got a PDF. It's a tiny little thing. Really, 2019 is when, at that time in Mexico, at the yurts that I own now, that's where I went originally. I meditated every day. I talked with the team every day, trying to figure out what the hell is this? What's going on? What is this ascension thing? Who am I? What am I? What is this? What does raising my vibration mean? It was quitting drinking, which was so hard. Becoming vegetarian, becoming vegan, going through the program. 2020 came around and I went back to Mexico that March. I had started divorce proceedings with my husband, who I'd been with for 25 years. I wrote my book. I published my book. I launched myself as Shawna L. Francis. I launched my website. I came out of the spiritual closet with my story, with all of it, after working with John the Baptist, working with Jesus, working with the Galactic Council. I put all that crazy stuff out to the public. I just did it. Here's where 2020, we started to gather the team, help awaken you guys. So August of 2020, I launched my YouTube channel. I talked to Ashtar, and basically I was making videos, and they came back and said, we need you to do this every day. So for 100 days, I channeled the Galactic Federation of Light, and we're putting out a pulse, a frequency, a beacon to collect the star family who you are now today. The Army of Light, Galactic Federation of Light, Earth Division. We learned that the Galactic Federation of Light was putting out a specific energetic frequency to gather the light workers who specifically were aligned more to this reptilian side of things, the reptilian side of the ascension. Look at where we're at now, guys. So that was really all about, 2020 was about awakening, gathering the troops, getting people to, have these light bulb moments like, maybe I'm a light worker, right? 2021 came around, and it was a lot more kind of in developing of my channeling capabilities, one-on-one sessions like crazy. The Grand Council came through. In August of 2021 is when I kind of made this first video. The Galactic Federation of Light talked about the undercurrent of negative reptilian influence, an undercurrent of influence. It was my first kind of, everything was really focused on the reptilians at that point. Little did I know what was coming. I really didn't. Jeff Mara, that podcast, that interview happened in December of 2021, and thank you, Bruce, for that, by the way, who set all that up. And the audience doubled overnight. 2022 came along, and really it was about holding space for my dad and getting in shape. I was working out like crazy. I made probably 30, 40 videos, but it was really, I had like 4 or 5 months where we were very quiet, and it was all about my dad, having space for that, getting through that. Then, of course, September last year, Melchizedek coming through saying, you're going to make a video every day. Then that became the daily ascension update. And how long did that go on before the GFL started coming through? I think to December. So I made 107 videos of the daily ascension updates. Again, gearing us up for this time. Really deeper into the reptilian idea. The Holocaust, Hitler, subjugation of women, the Great Depression, the harvesting of humans, they're eating us, all of that information came through. The Galactic Federation of Light, we had dozens of folks from the GFL come through to really talk us through, set the stage for the negative reptilian influence going on here. Really blowing our minds at just how big this is, how deep it is. And then middle of January, here comes Queen Elizabeth. Hard-hitting stuff. I had made, what did I decide here? 150 videos since September. 6.5 months. In 6.5 months, I've made 150 videos. We've been busy, guys. You've been busy following me. Wow. Anyway, I still have a lot to go through, but I did want to just set that tone for kind of this pivot, because it was important for me, because you're on this journey with me. This is a team effort. This is all happening as a collective for us. And I'm so thankful for all of you. All right, so I put down the laptop, and this was 41 minutes of intensity, and all of it it all was happening in real time in my mind, in my energetic field, and then after the fact I had to sit down and type everything out that I experienced in that time. So bear with me, guys. And you can increase the playback speed if you hit the little gear icon for settings. You can increase the playback speed if this video is just getting too long for you. I have a lot to go through here. So as Melchizedek was talking about this next phase, I'm just automatically feeling these tears well up in the back of my eyes. And this has happened to me before, where I know something deep within me, but consciously I don't really know. So I think there was just such a relief, like, to know, okay, we've made it to this next phase. So I was crying quite a bit. I saw myself in my mind's eye as an etheric type being, and somebody behind me, this is all a metaphor, but basically placed these huge wings on my back, these huge, beautiful, like pink wings. And it was like fairy dust and sparkles. And I am bawling at this point today, just experiencing this and seeing this. And this is Melchizedek, somebody from the Melchizedek collective is just like placing these, again, it's metaphorical, wings on my back. And then all of the Melchizedek clan are circled around me, and I would guess probably 15 of them. And one by one, they came up to me, and they knelt in front of me, and they held my hands and like said something or did something. And I'm just like in awe of this. My heart is just bursting. They cycled through, and they greeted me that way, like welcoming me to this next phase. that circle became tighter and we became kind of one, and we just shot straight up into space, like in some kind of a wormhole. It felt like traveling very, very quickly. And then all of a sudden we burst out, and it's stars and it's clouds and it's nebula, and we're kind of floating above this platform of clouds, and it's kind of a nighttime, a twilight sky. I found myself kind of alone at that point, and I just decided to have a seat and wait to see what would happen here. And I was immediately joined by another being who looked a lot like Gandalf from The Lord of the Rings. So kind of a white, long, flowing tunic type thing, and long white beard and long white hair, and, just wisdom, like, like Gandalf. But I recognized exactly who this was, and it was Saint Germain. And I'd seen Saint Germain in this form one time before, camping a couple of years ago. And when I saw him in his human form for me, I'm just crying. I'm just crying, and like he's holding my hand and he's comforting me, and I gave him a big hug, which I don't normally do with the guides. I'm not, like, in my mind's eye getting kind of physical like that, but I just hugged and hugged and hugged Saint Germain. I've worked with him quite a bit over the last couple of years, and he's just, oh no, this has been down here. I hope you guys have heard this. I'm going to put this up here. I hope you've caught all the words there. I really don't want to start over again. Okay. So he said, have a look around, and I did, and I looked around, and I saw, again, kind of similar to the vision the other day, all these beings of light, all these beings, like thousands of them spread out. These are representatives of the Army of Light Galactic Division, he said, my team, my family, at my beck and call, he said, and I cried some more. And Saint Germain said that there are 3 beings who I can call upon as my lieutenants. And the first one who came through is a praying mantis type being. I call him Mantid. I have not seen Mantid in a long time, but it's exactly what you'd expect a praying mantis being to look like. And I was introduced to Mantid, I call him, back in 2019, my first stint in Mexico. That being came through with a bunch of them. First time I'd ever seen a praying mantis being. And they were like honoring me. And I was crying when I first met him. And they were just so respectful and just honoring what I was doing. And especially at the time, I'm like, I'm not doing anything, guys. I don't know what this is all about, but thank you. So Mantid, one of my 3 lieutenants. Racer came forward. Racer being an 8D Arcturian from the Galactic Federation of Light. And then the third person, his name is Max. Max, I can't remember what race he is, but he is part of the Grand Council who I met in August of 2021 when I was at Corey Good's Ascension Summit in Colorado. The Grand Council came through. Max is part of that Grand Council. Max and I worked one-on-one doing mental telepathy training for a couple of months. I actually redrew a picture of him for you so you can see what he looks like. Sorry, this is just my, this is Max. He's very kind of typical alien looking with the almond shaped eyes, but he's got these angular features on his face, and he's kind of gnarly looking, but in a good way. I love Max. I've missed him a lot, actually. And the last, handful of months, 6 months or so, I'm like, where's Max? Where's Max? I miss you. Just hoping we could reconnect. So here comes Max. So Saint Germain said, call upon these lieutenants with anything. They said they'll also be helpful when it comes to directing the Army of Light Galactic Division, but they'd be a source for me for anything that I may need, anything. So it could be personal or what have you. I'm like, okay, wonderful. Thinking about the Army of Light Galactic Division, back in 2018, when I was first awakening, first talking to Archangel Metatron, he said to me, you will have an army of light at your beck and call. He said this to me. I've got it in my journal, my first journal. You guys, everything that's, I'd say 99% of what's been told to me is coming true. 99% of what has been forecasted is here. And it's so interesting to be able, like, I've got, all of these videos that go back that talk about these times, that talk about this stuff. It's just, it's so incredible. There's that word again. So this army of light. So we've got the Earth Division here, all of you. Most of us, I imagine, part of the Galactic Federation of Light, come to the planet to help with the ascension, to help anchor love and light here. Yay. Okay, then we've got the Galactic Division, Army of Light, my lieutenants. So I still actually don't exactly know how I'm going to utilize that army, but I'm sure it will be made abundantly clear as we go through this process. It's an important tool in my toolbox. Okay, so Saint Germain said to me, there is someone else here who'd like to see you. And I said, okay. All right, so he left, and in comes a giant reptilian being. Giant. So tall, muscular. And I remember thinking immediately, like, okay, if Godzilla and the Hulk had a baby, this is what this being would look like. Excuse me. I mean, really a marvel to look at. I took my time. I was thinking 20, 25 feet tall, really huge. And I was able to kind of, in my mind's eye, look around this being, like kind of look at its face and look at its body. It probably thought I was nuts. But it kind of reminded me of, like, almost like I'm like Jessica Lange, and that reptilian is like King Kong. It was not quite that extreme, but it was a big being. And all I could say was, oh, hello. I'm like, how can I be of service? I said to this being. And I'm like, and who are you? And they said that they represent all the reptilian species who are working on behalf of the light. This being explained that everyone present here has some type of background or experience with the reptilians. Wow. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot of people being impacted by what I assume to be the negative reptilians, including the reptilians who are positive. Okay, so at that point, this reptilian shrunk down in size to something more manageable, where I could talk to the being a little easier, maybe 6 or 7 or 8 feet probably. I had some energy work done when all that interference was coming through from a friend who had seen, or a couple of friends who had seen, a queen reptilian, like really high dimensional, 15D or something, coming through, and this is part of my team. So my friends had seen this being. I asked, are you the same being that they referred to? And she said yes, like a reptilian queen is kind of how I'm thinking about her, how others have seen her. All right, so it's so good to get a validation like that we're all kind of on the same page and seeing the same thing here. It's so powerful. Okay, so we kind of stood up and we kind of walked around on this cloud platform and she was showing me things. The biggest thing that I remember coming out of that is that she was showing me huge spaceships in battle. This is not the first time I'd seen this. When I worked with Siri back in I think it was 2019, I was working with Siri quite a bit. And it was before my YouTube channel, and there was a lot of training going on. I remember she showed me very clearly, like, this galactic battle scene. So I don't know that it's just started just now, but at least for all of us, as it relates to the negative reptilian regime and this agenda and all the light work that we're doing as part of that, it's important for us to know that this battle is going on. This is actually an actual battle. She said that, she explained that we may not see red lasers coming out of the ships, but there are very sophisticated weapons that run on mind power, energetic in nature, and she said they do plenty of damage. These are being used now, she said. So up in space somewhere, multidimensionally, we have the negative reptilians battling the light ships, the light team, the Galactic Federation of Light, whomever else is out there, they're battling. You know, and I asked a few questions about this, you know, about the dimensionality. I'm like, are we working with 3D and 4D negative reptilians here on the planet? How is it that they have the capabilities to fight higher dimensional beings and higher dimensional ships? And I know I will be learning more about this as I go, but basically she said that fighting like this, battles like this can happen at any dimension actually, at any density. There are service to self type species and other species who support any kind of expression of source, who could be on that side of, you know, fighting the light, believe it or not. She said also that the negative reptilians have alliances and they utilize that for battle power. And I kind of came out of there really not 100% sure of how all this works. You know, it seemed in my mind, as you ascend in the dimensions and you're higher in frequency, you have less and less of that going on. And that still may be true, but there is this battle being waged in the higher dimensions. It's multidimensional. All right. So she said, I said, well, what does this mean? And she's like, well, why don't you, grab your laptop, take some notes. And I'm like, okay. So I picked that back up after that experience. She said, Shawna, first and foremost, please let go of all worry, any fear of any kind. You'll want to work at this consciously. You have all the tools available to make this a reality. Your truth, utter fearlessness, no worry, no what ifs, no projecting into the future or wondering about the past. And then she said, which brings me to my next point. Stay in the moment. I know this is not so simple for you, being on earth with all these earthly responsibilities. Please do the best that you can. Okay. She said, trust in your ability to be in choice about what comes your way. You will only be upset if you decide you are upset. You have all the tools you need to be completely in love. Unconditional love, no matter what comes your way via the negative reptilian influence. Allow their words, their energies, their intentions to float right below you like a putrid river, she said. Imagine that river passing through a dam built from your love and wisdom, and that putrid water flows through the openings of your dam, and it is transformed into beautiful, clear blue water on the other side. All right, so yeah, whatever this onslaught that that's expected here, it hasn't started yet, but I guess it's still coming. It really could be that we've poked a hornet's nest with the Queen Elizabeth stuff, and this is truly when the battle begins. Truly, we start our missions in earnest here, I have a feeling. Okay. She said, Shawna, these are the instructions I wish to impart to you at this moment. I said, thank you very much. She said, I'd like to turn this back to Melchizedek to continue with this dialogue. Shawna, she said, it is my honor and pleasure to formally speak with you today. Congratulations. Always remember who and what you are, my friend and my comrade. I said, thank you. I said, I'm so grateful and humbled as well. So happy to meet you and to know you. And then right away, Shawna, this is Melchizedek again. We ask you to put the laptop aside one more time so we can continue with this instruction. Okay. So this was about only 25 minutes or so. And it started, again, just more energy work and swirling. And then all of a sudden, I'm kind of seeing a singular member of the Melchizedek clan right in my face. I've seen this being one other time, more just a glimpse. So this being was kind of front and center, working with my energy, and I'm seeing him or her quite clearly. Actually, it reminded me a little bit of like Yoda, but bigger. and instead of ears coming straight out, they went back. So pointy ears going back, bald, big black eyes, like more round, kind of wrinkled, but you know, humanoid, of course, and not tiny like Yoda, but that's what that reminded me of. So they just did all this work in my body. Like I could see hands moving, and I was feeling and seeing all kinds of interesting things going on. And then eventually that being just stepped right into my body. And this has happened to me several times before, especially with Melchizedek, where that is kind of like their way of solidifying the energetic connection, the consciousness melding that's been going on with them for a while now. And they've said that I'm going to need that connection for where we're going. So I'll take all the help I can get. All right, so that, they asked me to pick back up my laptop. And I said, man, it's kind of hard to come out of that space. And they said, Shawna, you're doing beautifully. I said, thank you. They said, due to the change in tactics, we also changed direction with you. All planned, dear one, they said. I said, okay. Queen Elizabeth will be taking a break from interacting with you on this plane of existence. She'll now be assisting in other areas. We as Melchizedek will continue to provide you with information and disclosure about the negative reptilian regime as needed. Shawna, we know there are many more questions, and we are happy to answer them as appropriate. I'm so happy to hear this. They are going to continue to answer our questions about the negative reptilians. I have gathered a bunch of your questions in a document, and anytime I think of a new one, I put them down. Excuse me. So we'll continue to have that resource. And I said, thank you, Melchizedek. Will I still be able to speak with the Queen? And they said, not for now, though this will not be the last time that you interact with her. I'm like, okay. I said, can you please tell her that that I really enjoyed working with her and that I'll miss her? And they said, certainly. They said, you both did an excellent job. Mission accomplished on that front. Okay. So with this pivot, Melchizedek said, we'd like to bring you in further into the other dimensions in order to broaden your understanding of the big picture and the other workings of the plan. They're going to bring me further into their world, to where they live, where we're going more interdimensionally here with the work. It'll help you to see where you and humanity fit and what is at stake. It will help you be more effective in carrying out your mission. It will also help you be a better leader. And it will help seed the collective with more knowing and understanding of these things as well. Thank you, team. They said, as was mentioned, you have 3 lieutenants at your service, Racer, Manted, and Max. They will serve as your go-to team for anything tactical and in the moment needs you may have as this plan progresses. They can advise you on anything that you need. You can call on them individually or as a group. They have your best interest at heart, and of course, the best interest of humanity and Gaia as well. Okay. They said, they know you better than you know yourself in many ways. You can trust them and rely on them for their insights and assistance. And I said, I'm so thankful. Team, imagine, I mean, this is probably true for all of us here on the planet who have forgotten who and what we are when we came down here. We're awakening to this now. That there are beings on the other side of the veil whom we've worked with probably many, many lifetimes, many times, who know us better than we even know ourselves. I sure know that Melchizedek knows me way better than I know myself as a soul, as an infinite soul. And at one point, they said, Shawna, we know what you've done and we still love you. That's a true testament of unconditional love. Like, oh my goodness. It's that bad, huh? All right, karma. bouncing out a little karma here, no big deal. They said, Shawna, you have many, many other team members as well. They too are here. Many you have met personally through your previous lessons and through your interviews with the Galactic Federation of Light. They are all on the ready to serve you. Please feel free to take advantage of this. I said, wonderful, so amazing. Thank you. I'm in awe of this. And of course, there is the Army of Light Galactic Division on the ready. Imagine that you can work with your lieutenants on a multifaceted, multi-phased approach with the Army of Light. Lean on them to help you strategize and plan. And I'm still like right now, I'm like, oh my goodness. Team, I'm speechless. And they said, you'll do great. No worries, dear one. Okay. And I'm just trying not to freak out at that point, and I still am right now, trying not to freak out. I said, what about the Army of Light Earth Division, you guys? I guess I need to know, I'd like to know the grand plan here. What are our objectives so that I can be a good leader? What are our objectives? I kind of get it, but I think, with this pivot, it's just getting way more real. What does this mean? I said, what is the overall game plan for us Earthlings? They said, Shawna, we intend to show you and tell you just that. This is the phase you've now entered, the big picture. I said, yay, okay. I'm getting it. Sounds good. This is where we're at now. So again, team, look at how far we've come in such a short amount of time. Awakening through this awareness. Now it's like understanding the big picture and then taking all this other action. And they said, so what does this mean for Shawna on a day-to-day basis? They said, and I was feeling the energy course through my veins. I'm like, oh, so nice. They said, well, not much will be different on the outset. Let us continue to meet with you daily around late morning as you have been, or as we have been. Allow us 3 hours per day. Yes, there will be days that won't work for you and we can take a break, of course. You have full control and flexibility. You are in choice. Okay. In terms of the communication with the Army of Light Earth Division, videos, etc., once a week, Shawna, pick a day that you feel would work best for you. For most weeks, you can catch up the team on those days. You'll have clarity and instructions for what to share and how at that time. All right, team, so daily videos, no more. Once a week, I'm going to be providing you with an update via video. If I get kicked off of YouTube, remember, team, you can find all my videos at shawnalfrancis.com. I'm going through a bit of a redesign on my website right now, but everything will be there. That's where you're going to want to go to get my latest updates, to catch up with me, to connect with me as you do now. I don't know what's coming, but we're ready. We're ready for it. Shawna, time to reintegrate exercise into your daily flow. Pick a time each day. And I had said, oh, I really liked what we did last summer where I'd get up first thing, go work out for an hour, hour and a half, come back, eat a big breakfast, and then get into the channeling with Melchizedek. I did that for months. And they said, yes, that works. That works. I said, what kind of exercise? Because they get actually pretty specific about this kind of stuff. They said, low impact, low stress on the body. Varied as much as you can within that construct. You are not out to push your body as hard as you can for any sustained amount of time. You don't have to kill it each day. Walking, light weights, stretching, cardio, have fun. Find ways that are fun. Yoga. Okay. So if you guys want to join me with this routine, please, please, please do. I said, what about the mushroom grow biz? They said, yes, move forward, have fun with that. Okay. I said, do you have any other recommendations for the Army of Light Earth Division? And they said, yes. Please continue to put into practice all that you've learned. Find ways to keep the joy flowing in your life on a regular basis. Trust your inner compass that points you to inspiration, joy, peace, love, and harmony. Take the necessary steps to put you in this space. There will be plenty for you to do. Oh, I don't doubt it. I do not doubt that. And we talked about, what am I going to call, what do we call this phase? What are we calling these videos? And they said, Army of Light Earth Division Weekly Briefing. So that's what we'll name these weekly meetings going forward, weekly briefings. Shawna, do you have any further questions? And I said, no. I said, are we able to speak out loud now, or do I need to keep typing things? They said, no, you can speak out loud now. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, we are on a roll. And they said, yes, we are, Shawna. I said, I love you guys. They said, we love you too. We are here with you always. We look forward to collaborating with you tomorrow. And I said, well, I assume I can make a video on this. They said, yes. I'm like, all right. Okay, so galactic battles, this Army of Light Galactic Division at my disposal with 3 lieutenants to help me strategize. Dark days ahead. Go back and look at some of these videos from the last 6 months. They don't mince words on what's coming. Anchoring our light, being in our center, maintaining that no matter what's going to come our way, it's everything. It's why we're here. Okay. All right, I'm going to get some sleep, and I'm going to hit this in the morning with, hopefully I'll do a workout. I'll meet with the team for 3 hours tomorrow. As I'm able to, I will give you little updates here and there, but mostly I want to be focused on this process. So I'm going to miss seeing you every day. I'm going to miss all your beautiful comments every day. Man, I do want to resurrect email newsletters, and I will get help from the team with this. They've always helped me with these newsletters, but it is something that takes care and feeding, and it's also expensive. So if anybody out there, if you guys would care to sponsor my email newsletter platform, I'm going to need like $60 a month through MailChimp, who I've been using up to this point. I've got all my contacts in there. I think I've got 600 or 700 folks signed up for newsletters right now. So to maintain that and to grow that, it's going to cost me $60 a month. So I'm kind of doing this off the cuff, and I hadn't really prepared, but I'd been thinking about this. If you'd like to sponsor a month at $60, and I plan to do 1 newsletter a month, hopefully more, but we'll see how it goes. Please reach out to me and let me know. That would be wonderful. And I could say, thank you, so-and-so, if you want to be called out. We can, if you're a practitioner of some kind, or if you want me to talk about you, or, give the Army of Light Earth Division a message from you, we can do that. But I'm just throwing that out there. Reach out to me at Shawna at shawnalfrancis.com if you are interested in sponsoring 1 month at $60 of MailChimp, so I can get our newsletters up and running again. It's really tough without any real income right now. So far okay, but if you're willing and able to help, I would very much appreciate it. Okay, I'm gonna go. I've got a lot to process here. I love you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are rocking this, guys. We are ready for what's next. All right. Mwah. Bye-bye.